Ladies and gentlemen, you got a little preview of what I look like, what we're doing here today. Welcome to the MUSKOX live stream. Today we are live in Mentor, Minnesota. Let me show you outside. Beautiful day. Here's how this is gonna work. So we got to meet a lot of you at the Northern Green Expo. That was a lot of fun. And we want to sort of bring that experience to everybody. We want to make sure that you can see the machine, get your questions asked about the machine, and it wouldn't be a MUSKOX live show without our co-owner, Adam Bergman. Adam, can you say hi real quick?
Hello, everybody out there. Great intro, John.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, Adam,
yeah.
I'm going to have you say hello again because I turned your mic on now. So, folks, we are doing this live, and we are being intuitive, ingenuitive all the way. So, Adam, one more time.
Yeah, hey, we're just trying to show we're live today, and I don't know about you guys out there, but today I've taken my shoes on and off like 5 or 6 different times, and the older I get, it's harder to do with these boots and snow pants. But where I'm standing, I'm not this tall. I look like I'm about 7 foot tall. I'm not that tall. I'm standing on some snow that we're going to be going through. So today, to give an idea of the conditions, to set expectations, we always shoot in different conditions around here, right? So today it's about 22 degrees in northwest Minnesota. We're going to be going through 6 to 24 inches of snow. We welcome everybody that's joined us all over the United States and into Canada, and maybe even international beyond Canada. If you guys have questions, ask us. We're here for you guys so you can see the machine in action. So we're going to talk through a few of the parts. We are going to get to showing some video with us operating in big snow. It's a question a lot of people have had. It's a great question, right? So Ron and I have traveled to different parts of the United States to chase that big snow, and we want to show that off. So a little bit later, a few minutes into the show, we'll get to that. But right now, I'm going to get off the snowbank. Peter, if you want to just kind of show the snow we're going through, if you want to go down, show up to the garage door, it'll give you an idea of the type of snow that we're going to be pushing through today. Again, we've had a lot of snow in northwest Minnesota, and we hauled it in last night and this morning. So it's between 6 and 24 inches of snow we're going to go through. So I'm going to get off this snowbank and let the machine do the talking. Ron's going to fire up the machine, and he's going to show it in a traditional snow blowing position. And we're going to show when we get close to the door what we can't do with traditional blowers. Then we're going to take a second pass and show what makes the MUSKOX different and the first feature that we were able to patent on this machine. So Ron, if you want to fire up the machine and take her forward. Today, Ron's going to be operating our 2378 model. It's our dually, which makes up about 99% of our sales. We do sell a single auger and a double auger. This is the dual auger. And you're seeing some stats right now. Common question for you guys asking is going to be, what do I need for flow on the machine? It's low, standard, and high flow, between 14 and 50 gallons a minute. Now, as Ron is coming forward, you're seeing that snow blow out. It's probably blowing out about 60, 65 feet right now, and rather high. Those pillars that he's going across are about 4 feet tall to give a reference point of how high the snow is blowing. And it's nice you guys are seeing the stats of the machine again. So if you have any different type of machine, we're able to run on any brand of skid steer and Bobcat tool cats, which have been very popular for us. Ron's coming forward in the traditional position. You're going to see the auger on top, a dual auger system. We're going to get into why we run that dual auger. Part of it is with this big snow, helps get us through more efficiently, but also when we back drag and really helps allow more of that snow to get blown so you're not pulling much out to the street. You guys will also notice our lowered chute on the machine. That's allowing better visibility for the driver. We'll get into that. If you guys haven't seen this machine before in action, that's something that you'll notice. You'll also notice we're not getting snow dust blowing back onto the windshield of the operator. It is no fun when that snow blows back, running the windshield wiper all the time, and then have to get in out of the cab to take that out. So now as you're watching Ron come forward, this is kind of traditional snowblower, right? Ron, you could go ahead and stop the machine about right now, if you would, or slow down. Now, right now, I'm starting to push the snow forward, so I'd have to get out and shovel that. So Ron's gonna back up the snowblower. You'll see in this kind of condition the type of snow we would have been shoveling. Now he's gonna make a second pass, and he's gonna run the machine, and you're gonna see the MUSKOX difference, where he's gonna come forward in traditional snow blow and then back drag. Also, if you guys are new to the machine and watching, or maybe have the previous machine, you're gonna see a couple green poles on the machine, one on the left and the right side. It's a new feature on the 2378. And what that allows is you can set those poles to 5, 9, or 13 inches away from the garage door. And what that does is allows the operator to know right when those green poles touch the garage door, or whatever surface you're pulling up to, you're gonna know your distance. So it's just it's a good tool for the operator to be able to use. If you guys are just joining us, this is Adam that's talking, and Ron with MUSKOX Snowblowers. And what we're doing is we're running in compacted snow. It's about 22 degrees here. We hauled in a bunch of snow, so it's really condensed hard snow. It started off with me standing on top of the snow to show I couldn't even stand through it, just to show how hard compacted it is. And Ron is moving forward in the traditional snow blowing position. Coming forward with the machine. And now you're gonna see what makes it different with us as he backs up. And Ron's gonna go ahead and get the machine into a back drag and blow position. So he's coming up close to the garage door, and now watch the difference with the MUSKOX snowblower. The green pole has touched the garage door, now he's back dragging and blowing. How neat is that? Right, that's a big need in the industry, and what separates us apart. As you guys can see, it is blowing while he's back dragging. It's a question a lot of customers have. We'll watch it coming forward one more time. Again, if you guys are just joining us, we're running in about 6 to 24 inches, depending where the snow is at. It's all snow we hauled in because we didn't have any snow here last night, so it's compacted snow. We're running our 2378 machine, which retails at $13,995. We have customers all over the United States and internationally.
Now, Adam,
Yeah.
as Ron's coming forward, we got a question about those poles. Do those come in a standard position? You mentioned you could put them in different positions. Why would someone do that, and what do you recommend?
Yeah, right on. So that's a great question. So those green poles are new this year. Let's watch that actually in action. Watch as Ron comes close and he just touches the garage door and backs up. So we want you as the operator to have a choice. Do I want that to get 5 inches, 9 inches, or 13 inches from the door? I'm gonna go ahead and have Ron pull the machine up and stop it so we can look at that close. Ron, come over into this path, if you would. And you can go ahead and stop it right there and shut off the motor so you guys can hear me a little bit better. So Ron is shutting it down. So that was a great question. So on these poles right here, you set it at 5, 9, or 13 inches. What we recommend, if you have a brand new operator who's never ran a skid steer, you probably want to set the U-bolt, and you want to put it, there's a couple extra holes there, you probably want to set it at 13 inches if you've never ran a skid steer before. If you've ran a skid steer before, I'd probably set it at 9 inches the first time just to get the feel of it, because it's a different feel. It's new. You've never taken a snow blower and been able to back drag and blow. Then once you've ran it a couple times, you'll want to slide it forward and be 5 inches away from the door to greatly reduce shoveling. We have 3 goals at MUSKOX. It's not that cold, so I can take my gloves off, but we really have 3 goals when we started this machine. We wanted to save time, We wanted to save money, and one way we could do that was getting close to the garage door so we could save on labor. And we wanted to be safer. And by getting close to that garage door all the time, and a few other features you're gonna see with our machine, you don't have to get in and out of the cab as much. While the machine shut down, I actually wanna take and look down on the ground here, Peter, and you guys can see we're running over stamped concrete. You guys have seen this before. If you watched our videos, if you're new to us, welcome. We love questions, but when we're able to back drag and blow with our rubber squeegee, we're not scratching that surface, right? When we're out there winning business with HOAs or school districts or anything that we're getting hired for, both residential and commercial, a big thing in these contracts now is you cannot scratch my surface, but we need to be able to scrape it, right? So we're able to get close to that door, back drag and blow, and not scratch the surface at all. It's really neat. And let's look at that one more time. I just think it's an awesome feature and something that we've won a lot of business with and have hundreds of these out here, people reordering, and that is one of the reasons.
And Adam,
so that's real neat.
One other reason that people are happy with us is the visibility from the cab. I think we could treat the folks at home with a little view from what Ron is seeing as an operator. What do you think about that?
Sure, and next time throw that mic on so I can hear you a little bit better, but I think you were talking about the visibility. Now I can hear you, okay. But I think I got it. Visibility to see from the cab. So we can watch from, if we're using Peter's camera, we're going between a couple cameras today, everybody. It's truly live. Ron's waving away with a very nice muskox hat on that he's wearing today. But as you guys could see as the operator, the chute is lowered. It's lowered because we reduced the opportunity to be able to clog that chute. That was the number one reason we went with that route. Number two, it gets you close to the garage door so you don't bump into that garage door when you're back in, but also you end up having better visibility. As we can see, it's down by Ron's knees. It's got great visibility, and look at that cab. There's absolutely no snow dust that is blown back on that cab. That windshield wiper has not been running. We all know what that's like. We all nod our heads. Some of you probably watching right now where we've had that blows back on the cab, running all the time. Defrost doesn't keep up. You're getting in and out to clean that out. So that's a great feature. What I'd like to do, John, is that when we're talking about earlier in the show, a big thing we see on social media platforms is that's great. I see your guys' videos where it's 1, 2, 3, 4 inches of snow. Right now, you've been watching it in 6 to 24 inch weather. But John, I know we put together a little clip of a road trip Ron and I took. Mm-hmm. And I believe it was Idaho and Montana. Some of those clips are. Some are maybe out in Maine, but we chased some really big snow. So if we have a chance, I'd like to go over to that clip and let you guys see the muskox, not just in Northwest Minnesota, but in some bigger snow in different areas of the United States where we have lots of customers. So if you want to
all right, Adam, why don't you go ahead, warm yourself up. We'll give Peter a little break. Folks, here is a little treat just for you. And we can talk a little bit over this, Adam, if you'd like. But we got some great video of the muskox going through huge snow right now. Huge snow. And as you can see on the video, Adam, actually, you're better at this. Why don't you take over the commentary?
Yeah, I'll go real quick. What's neat about this, watch everybody, that's a bunch of ice compacted. So what we found was snow that was about 8 feet tall and compressed. This is a new customer that we have that lives on a ski resort. Pretty neat life he's got there. But he's going through snow that's probably about 8 feet tall. So it's really neat to see the muskox being able to go through that. And some of the other video, you're able to see the ice.
Awesome, Adam. All right, I'll have you get back on Peter's camera, and we will get back to the show. So that's a little taste of the big snow we've got. And actually, Adam, I have our first question.
Yeah.
So, Bob is wondering, how small of units do you make, and what kind of flow do I need? I have a Bobcat L28 articulating loader. Bob, I'll tell you something. I know a lot about video, but I'm betting Adam knows a lot more about skid steers. So Adam, over to you.
Yeah, right on. So that's a great question. Probably one of our most common questions is do I need a high flow? What do I need to operate this? we work anywhere between 14 and 50 gallons per minute. So that particular articulating machine is a great machine that Bobcat makes. Seen more and more getting done sidewalks that way. The best thing you can do is reach out to us so we can match it up and see what kind of flow you have on that particular machine. You can reach us on our website, which some of you are watching right now, through Facebook if you're on there, or you can reach out to our phone number, which you'll see on the screen now or later. So reach out to our team, and then what we do, it's a lot of companies do, but we really pride ourselves on our service. So we get a relationship with you as the operator. We sit down, we understand your operation needs, and then we match this snowblower to your skid steer. So you're gonna get one of 5 different motor sizes, depending on the machine that you have. You're also gonna get a different electronical hookup that plugs into your machine, so it's plug and play and ready to go. And the machine also comes fully assembled when you get it, so you don't have to put chutes on or anything like that. You get the machine, literally plug it in, put in the hydraulics, and you're ready to operate. So that's a good machine, and we're starting to see more of those that are coming out to the market.
Adam?
Yes.
We also had someone who maybe joined us a little later. They're wondering if they could see the effect of the back drag, and maybe a little later on if Ron could back drag again. Could we show up to the garage door how much snow we cleared out and how it compares to a traditional pushing blower?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'll finish real quick on that, the 5 motors they get, and answering that first question with Bob. This one is 78 inches wide, and that's the size that we make right now. Continue to watch us as a company. We're really successful with this machine, have customers all over. We love R&D. Our co-founder that's sitting inside the machine is an engineer with over 30 years of experience and over 50 patents in his name, and he loves research and development. So we are working on other machines, are prototyping different sizes. So continue to watch out for that, but right now it's 78 inches is the machine that we offer to the public. It's a really good question. Peter followed me at the camera. If you guys joined us a little bit later with the traditional snowblower, we were stopping about right here because of the snow conditions we had today. If I stepped it off, it was about 4 or 5 feet away from the door that I had to stop because the snow was starting to push forward into the garage door. So I would have had 4 to 5 feet of really hard, heavy snow to get rid of. By being able to do what we did, we got rid of all that compacted snow, and we got really close to the garage door, so you can see what we were able to do. For most, that's going to satisfy you right there. If anything, you got a little bit more to move. So I think what we'll do is we'll let Ron fire up the machine again. I'll get off the mic a little bit, and we can do just what that customer wants to see. And for everybody that's just joining us, we're here shooting Northwest Minnesota. 6 to 24 inches of snow. We just showed it also operating in big snow. We're going to watch the machine just operate. Let that do the talking a little bit. I'll get out of the way. Peter, you can figure out where's the best place for you to stand. And Ron, if you want to come out, I think we're going to have Peter stand right where he's at. And then I'll move away from the machine. Ron will back up, and we'll come forward. It will be a traditional snow blower until we do our back drag and blow feature. And for the new people joining us, today we're running the MUSKOX 2378, which is the model we've been selling all year long to great fanfare and a lot of success with it. This is our dual auger machine, which is our most popular. Oh, Peter, why don't you move over to the other side, I guess, so he doesn't blow you. Got the auger facing where it was, so we'll move Peter over. He'll probably get close to me, and then we'll watch the machine in action. So Ron is coming up, and now what he's doing here is we're not blowing a lot of snow here, but we're showing off that back drag feature, right? So we left a little bit of snow that we didn't blow earlier. He's getting close up to the door. He's back dragging and blowing, and watch as that snow blows, right? It's blowing at the same time. The augers are spinning when you're back dragging, which is something you're not going to get out of other machines. Now he's going to come into compacted snow. I stood on that earlier to give everybody an idea. It's hard, compact. I say I'm 200 pounds. Everybody else in the company thinks I weigh more than that, but it showed that I was weighting down that snow a little bit to give an idea. It's hard, compacted, 6 to about 24 inches in spots, and it's operated as a traditional snowblower. If you guys, it's maybe hard for you guys to see, but that snow is probably blowing right now, and that particular snow, I'm probably getting out 60 feet.
Hey Adam,
Yes.
does Ron have to hit the house, or can he articulate that stream further back over his shoulder?
Yeah. So we'll watch that. So that's a great question. Ron watches he's rotating that auger as he's backing up, so that he's putting the machine in a position to succeed. He's rotating and just rotated it again because he wants to put snow into certain spots. And then you guys can see on that ground again. We'll come forward. Ron, stop for a second, and then we'll get to see right down to this area. Peter, if you want to come, if you want to stop the machine, and then you guys could see this surface. All that's come over here is a little bit of snow dust. We'll actually back drag and clean that all up. But again, you guys get to see that surface where we're getting right down to the surface and not scratching it. And it gives you an idea of how close we are to the garage door. And if we went in the traditional position, we'd have to stop. I think Peter and I will hop over. We'll let it run one more time before we get into our shearing mode. But Ron, why don't you run the machine forward? And I'll kind of stop you when you see you start blowing the snow forward to show what a traditional snowblower would do. And again, welcome everybody that is watching. We sure appreciate it. It's fun for us to get out and do this live. And thank you to all of our customers. We have customers this year in over 29 states. Shocking to me, we get snow in 29 states in the United States, but we must. So we have customers in 29 states and different provinces in Canada that are using the machines. And if you look on our website, you're going to see a lot of testimonials of people that have saved a lot of time with this machine this year. They're reordering it, and they're achieving their goal of saving on labor costs. It's going to be a great shot there, Peter, getting inside the machine.
And folks, we're having a little trouble with our main camera. We're trying to get as much detail as possible for you. As you can see from the cab, that's our view from the operator as you're back dragging. As people love Peter's camera, people love the angle when Peter gets nice and close. Having a little trouble with that source today. We will figure that out as best we can.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and shut off the camera, and I'm gonna be on this camera right here, I believe.
Yep.
Looking at it, so I'm looking at that camera talking. Maybe you guys can't quite see, but on the left-hand side, tell me if you can still follow me here, John?
We see a little bit of it. I think we can figure out something.
Right over onto the left side, I mean, it looks like we'll rotate that camera slightly here if we're able to. But on that, it shows that traditional position it gets into, and this is right where we were starting to push it forward. So if I had these kind of snow conditions, I would not have a choice but to get out and start to shovel at this point. So it's a pretty unique feature that we have that we're able to do that. You'll see other parts of it with us back dragging and blowing. I think what I'd like to do, because we have one camera that I think doesn't like the cold weather right now, and that's what happens when we're shooting live. We're gonna look into that camera a little bit, but I know right now, this time of the year, you guys still watching us, shearing ice is a big deal, right? We get into the springtime, the sun starts coming out, and then we have ice that we need to go through and shear. With our machine, we do not ride on the surface with our steel cutting edge unless we want to. And how you determine exactly where you're at is we have a really neat leveling wheel that trains our operators. So it shows you when you're in the ideal blow position, the ideal shear position, and also that ideal back drag position. It's a really neat feature. You'll see it on different videos that we have, but it gets that operator trained really quickly. What's neat about the shear position that you guys are gonna watch is that when you guys are out there, you can go with confidence. You know exactly when the steel is touching hard surface. Again, it's your choice. With our machine design, you can go over grass when you want to. You can go over gravel when you want to, but you can also shear ice when you want to. So John, is that video available for us to play?
You're looking for the leveling wheel?
The leveling wheel and the shearing ice video that we
put
together.
I'm gonna run them back to back. So we'll do leveling wheel, folks. Hello everybody. We'll show you the leveling wheel, and then we're gonna show you our cutting edge. So please stand by. Here we go, leveling wheel.
So as you guys can see, as the operator, you're able to look down to the right-hand side of the machine, and it'll show you exactly where you need to be. So when you're in our blow position, it educates you to that. When you want to rotate the machine, and get into the back drag feature, it puts you in the perfect position, which just wear and tear less on the machine. And then when we're in the shear position, when we're in that shear position, now we're able to shear ice. And I think we have a video right after that that's going to allow us to see a little closer in action what it looks like. So now as you see that machine, it's rotating. See that white in the back? That white's usually touching the ground unless we want steel to touch. Now you guys can see it's perfectly engaged to the ground, and we just don't go through cutting edges like other machines do because of that design. This is us shearing through ice. Look at that thing, just picking up all the ice that's on the ground. You guys can see in the video exactly what that looks like. And we're shearing through and see the expectation of the surface. And there's another spot where we're getting rid of all of that ice. It's an important feature to have this time of the year, especially coming into the spring when we really need to clear off some of those driveways where the snow sat for a long time. And
Adam, we got some great news. Camera 2 is back up. Peter's cam is back with us. Can I have you hop on that? We got a question for you from one of the folks at home.
Yeah.
So he was curious about what city we're manufactured in.
Yeah.
I'll give you a hint. It's cold. The second question, will you add a list of dealers or factory sales?
Yeah.
So little business question, little manufacturing question, and with Peter's camera back online, I think you're the man to answer that.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So we're manufactured in Northwest Minnesota. So when you guys look into us as a company, we're American made. So all of our parts we source out of the United States, and we manufacture the machine in Northwest Minnesota in a combination between Detroit Lakes and Mentor. When you guys do look at our website, you're also going to see the state of North Dakota represented, and that's because that's where we run our businesses offices out of. We live right on the border between North Dakota and North Dakota and Minnesota. I personally live on the North Dakota side. Ron lives on the Minnesota side. But manufactured Northwest Minnesota, and very important to us is that that we're made in the United States and source all of our parts from America. So that's something we're proud of, and we're able to do through COVID, and it's exciting moving forward with that. As far as the dealers go, we are a growing company who is adding dealers all the time. I know just yesterday I had another dealership that had 7 locations that wanted to sign up as a dealer. So we have dealers kind of all over the United States, about 15 of them right now. We are direct to consumer and through dealerships. So please reach out to us. We'll find out the area that you live in and find you if we can connect you to a local dealer. If we don't have a dealer real close to you, we can sell directly to you. We've successfully done that and put a lot of work into our service to be able to achieve that. One of the ways we're able to achieve that is when Ron engineered this and continues to engineer it, spent a lot of time on just using less pieces and parts. And what that does is just allows the machine to have less options for it to be able to break down. When I talk about breaking down, one thing that's really neat is there's no shear pins and shear bolts on this machine. It's direct drive to that main auger, so that really reduces that task. And one thing we hear from people all the time when they get the machine is, I can't believe how well built this thing is. You guys can find lots of testimonials we'll put out there that references that, or when people get to see it live or get the machine, that is one of the first things they remark about is how well this machine is built. And we spent a lot of time on that and take a lot of pride in that. Now that we're back with this camera, we had come up to the garage door and kind of gave an idea of we were in traditional snow blowing position where we were going to start to have a problem where snow was going to start pushing into the garage door. So I'm going to step back over by where Peter's at, let Ron fire up the machine, and then go ahead and back drag and blow and get rid of the snow so I don't have to go get my shovel.
Adam, once Ron's done with this, we got a really interesting question for you.
Now Ron is just firing up the machine, probably picking up a few different mics here. Ron is firing up that machine and he's getting closer to that garage door. Now watch this. It really is a beautiful thing. He's going to go ahead and back drag and blow away from the garage door. And I know we got a good question going up, and I'll stop the machine to answer that. But Ron, if you can hear me, why don't you go ahead and just make a pass and clean this whole thing up. We're just getting done cleaning it, and we'll just watch it in action and fly through. Anybody just joining us, we're getting done cleaning up this driveway. We'll look at the machine closer, but we're just showing off what we can do with that rubber squeegee, where we get right down to the surface. Plastic and rubber touch the surface unless you want steel to touch the ground. It's your choice as the operator. We're getting up close to the door. Holes just touch the garage door. Now we know it's to back drag and get rid of that. Perfect. Ron, if you want to blow there and then turn the machine after you blow it, that's him blowing forward. Turn the machine, come over in front of me, lift the arms up on the machine. You guys can see it with the two augers. He'll get closer to me so then I can talk to the machine a little bit. You can shut it off or sound a little. Be about perfect right there. Okay, and I know you had a question for me, so I'll answer that.
I've got two questions.
Okay.
So first of all, shout out to Hanson Lawn Care. Appreciate the question. He writes, "Good morning, gentlemen. Regardless of the wheel's position, are the skid arms in a float position during the 3 different operation modes according to the wheel?" I assume you know what he's talking about.
Ron, do you want to go ahead and answer that question?
Well, hold up. Let me make sure we can hear Ron. Ron, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Well,
I can.
You don't sound as good as you usually do, but I think we'll manage. Go ahead, Ron.
Yes, it all depends. When I am back dragging, quite often I go into the float position, or if I need more down pressure, I'll rotate the bucket to the front of the blower to achieve more down pressure. But yes, intermittently I do use the float position.
So great question, and I'll get into, before we get that second question, let's look at that level wheel, and thanks for the question, Hanson Equipment. Showing that leveling wheel to show and helps indicate that he's in that blow position, so we're floating across the surface doing it. When he wants to rotate it, he rotates it down and gets into the shear position, putting pressure down. So when I'm here, I'm riding on plastic or rubber. When I want to get into shear position, now I'm on my steel cutting edge. What this also really helps is it lowers that maintenance of always working on that cutting edge and setting it before you go out. And then as the operator, when I want to get to the back drag position, I rotate it, and it perfectly aligns so everything's lined up on the machine. It's riding on everything perfectly. You can rotate it more if you want to, but we highly recommend this being the ideal position. I'm moving it with my hand right now, I know that, but the machine does rotate as you're rotating it. It gets it in all those spots, and that's been a new feature on this. So when I do back drag, for example, we have these side fins, right? We have these side fins designed so when you're in the traditional snow blowing position, it holds more snow inside the machine, so you can increase your road speed. But now when I back drag, it creates a perfect line coming down, so it helps hold the snow inside the machine, so I don't have big windrowing or snow coming out. So that's why that kind of serves two purposes, and that wheel helps you get trained on that. Eventually it's all going to be feel and you know right where you're at, but it's a good way to start. And if you've ever leveled dirt, different things to get in the exact same position, that just helps get you there. And I'll show you that steel cutting edge real quick. Here's our steel cutting edge. We have quite a few hours on this machine. I'm sure we're pushing 100 hours on that machine, and it just doesn't round off that edge because we don't use it that often. And we look in there, look at those augers. They're mean. They're designed to look mean. They're basically 3-phase, with this being able to paddle in the middle to blow in. But 2 augers, they're designed differently on purpose. We use the ribbon with the serrated edge on the main auger. And then the second we found that works best is to use a paddle up top when when we're back dragging and blowing. And then everything's got those sharp edges, so we're able to break through any type of ice. And for any of you guys that saw us at the Green Expo that are tuning in or have the machine right now, we have hundreds of these all over the United States right now operating successfully. We redesigned that blower fan. I shouldn't say we, Ron redesigned that blower fan and came up and ran it at a negative angle, and it's just more efficient, and we use 6 fins on it. We're about 15% more efficient through big snow than we were with previous designs. So I'll stop there, and I think, John, you said you had one more question for me?
I do. I want to make sure Ron is still on mic. Ron, are you there?
Hello, John, I am.
You're going to love this next question. Someone is wondering, oh, it's Bob again. Bob is wondering, if I'm cleaning out my neighbors, what happens if I hit a log or another foreign object buried in the snow? Ron, you probably know why I want you on mic for that one.
In fact, good question. You know, snowblower, if it does get fed through to the fan, it does quite a racket. But here yesterday over by my propane tank, I was cleaning out and a dead rotten tree had fallen there. It went into the blower, stopped the auger. Well, all that happens is its hydraulic slip clutch on the main drive auger stops the auger, no shear bolts. You notice the auger isn't turning. You hit your hydraulics into reverse. The auger reverses, kicks the obstruction out, and you turn it on and go forward.
I think to piggyback on that, that's a nice feature too, Bob, is that blower fan will continue to run until you shut it off. So then you're able to kick it in reverse. That fan will still spin also, so if that does happen in that blog, your chute isn't going to be all plugged. So you don't have that work to get out to be able, or have to do that. Yeah, I think we all heard we're checking battery status, and it's kind of cold out here today, so that's, well, I told everybody, so I don't want to interrupt you, John, but yeah, it's a little cold here today, so our batteries are going through. It's not as cold as it gets in Northwest Minnesota. You'll find videos where we're out shooting where it's 30, 40 below, and that's just the conditions that we operate in. So I think we did a good job with today's show. I welcome and appreciate everybody. I shouldn't say welcome. I thank you for jumping on today, and we were able to cover in this video. We'll have a condensed version of this video that'll be hitting YouTube in probably 1 or 2 weeks, where we'll knock it down to a 5-6 minute video and show it. We show us going through big snow. It's a question a lot of people have had on social media. So we did some traveling. We chased that big snow because we can't recreate every condition here in Northwest Minnesota. We ran in 16 to 24 inches of snow, but we highlighted that. We also highlighted our shear position, which again is allowing the steel cutting edge to engage the surface when we want it to. That becomes a big thing in the spring when we need to break down and get down to the surface to really clean areas up, as we've been driving over the snow all winter long. And then if you look into us, you're going to find all sorts of YouTube videos that show us running in all sorts of different conditions. We had a couple pretty awesome camera guys and video guys behind that. 2 of them you've got to see today. One of them talking, which is John, who does a phenomenal job with a lot of our social media and helps produce this video, along with Peter, who does a lot of our videos. You've seen him walking in and out. He's on the camera behind right now, but you'll see him. He's the guy with the yellow hat. He's shaking. I think that's what camera guys do, is right there. That's a thing. It's a good idea. So he's waving, but they do a great job, and look into those videos so you can see it. But away from the videos, reach out to us as a company. We have a few sales guys. It's not too hard to get a hold of Ron and I either to talk through. And what we really do and pride ourselves on is our service. We want to be a cut above, not only in design, but also in the service of your machine and working with you. Reach out to you and we'll talk it through with you and find out where we're a good fit for your operation or for your home use. We do customize these machines to fit to your machine. We run on low, standard, and high flow machines. We run on every brand of skid steer. I don't know a brand out there of skid steer that we currently don't have a customer using it each and every day. And we have hundreds of customers all over the United States. We have dealers that continue to grow with us all the time. So we're trying to check check all those boxes to work alongside you guys to be able to help you out. So I think I'm ready to sign off. I think we kind of accomplished our goals that we wanted to do. We highlighted why we save time, money, and make the operation safer.
And someone got a question in just under the wire.
Yeah.
I'm turning to my assistant. Are there demo units available right now, Adam?
Yeah, so we've been successful. We're pretty well sold out everywhere, or we are sold out direct. I think I have a dealer that has 1 or 2 left. But the best thing you can do with that demo question is reach out to us so we can connect the dots, because we get questions on that. It could be in Alaska, it could be Maine, it could be Minnesota, it could be Montana, and it just depends on where we have machines and what we can do for your operation. But we'd love to touch base with you to be able to put you in that type of position and share what we've learned and see if we can find a fit for you guys. Because at the end of the day, if you're not making money running this machine and it's not more efficient than what you currently have, it's not a good purchase for you. But we're finding that we're checking those boxes with hundreds of customers out there. So it's a great question, but just reach out to us and then we can better answer that.
And on that note, Sod Father Lawn Care says hi and thank you, and they're excited when they finally get some snow. Another satisfied customer just wanted to say he's happy.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. We've had record-breaking snow in areas like Buffalo, New York, and other places even within New York with no snow, in Minnesota and all over. So every year slightly different challenges that we have, but everybody says that. Give us an opportunity to prove it, that we'll work alongside you and put you in a good spot. So we'll turn off. We'll probably be shooting one more live video you guys all see. It'll be a little bit more in the springtime. We did that early snow experience. Today we did the midwinter experience, and then we'll do that springtime experience with you guys, work alongside you. So I'll get off. I think we can let Peter's camera run. Ron, it looks like there's a little bit of snow still on my far right. It would be your left currently, where you can probably blow moving forward so they can see a little snow blowing out as Ron packs up the machine and heads back into the shop to do just what you guys were asking about with different sizes. So stay tuned on that. We're excited about the direction we're heading as a company. Thank you all, and I'll see you either talk to you on the phone at a show or live on our next stream.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we watch Ron finish things up, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the rest of our team here. Adam Bergman, of course, and Ron are our intrepid leaders. We introduced Peter and myself. Over here we have Noah, who is another member of the Bergman family, who is helping out with that R&D, works in the shop, does a phenomenal job with that. That MUSKOX snowblower you're seeing backdrag right there, that is also made possible by Melissa, who is our shop manager, make sure everything's going in and out, taking care of customers, making sure we have all of our bolts in the right bins. We are also kept online by Travis. Travis Cassidy runs our social media and our website. Of course, you all get to talk to our friendly and expert sales team, whether you've talked with Mike, whether you've talked with Nate, whether you've talked with Reed. We are confident that you have talked to someone who knows the machine, who cares about the machine, and cares about your experience as a MUSKOX owner. When you call that number, you're going to get to talk to one of those 3 gentlemen, and they're all going to do a phenomenal job. Of course, we have Justin, who is way in the back end, making sure the deep reaches of the internet that we work, making sure our phone system is up and running. And to everybody else at MUSKOX, who I forgot to mention, I think I got everybody. But it's an incredibly hardworking team, and it's an honor to be a part of it for each and every one of us. So with that, let's listen to some rock music and watch the MUSKOX do what it does.